Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone. A salutation to you brothers that's out there teaching the truth and sincerity and taking this thing as serious as always. Um, usually my channel is always about, uh, like spiritual things, uplifting brothers' spirit, with their spirit down. I go into prophecy here and there. But this lesson, man, is basically for like newer brothers or even brothers that's been in the truth for a long time. It's a refreshing, you know. It is basically going to renewing your mind and being not conformed to this world. And a brother uh, that's in the camp, I mean, you should do a little mini lesson, and it inspired me to, it's been like I know a lot of brothers being tempted, and it's been a hell of a week these last few weeks. So I just want to keep putting lessons out, uh, pushing the spirit out there, man, because that's what we do. We should be flooding this internet with many lessons. Whatever the spirit puts on you, man, to put out there. So yeah, we gonna get started with this. Uh, for brothers, newer brothers, like I said, refreshing brothers that's been in the truth for some years. I'm a younger brother myself, and I only been in it going on 3 years. And I look up to all the brothers, But we're gonna get in the lesson. It says, I beseech you, Romans chapter 12, verse 1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is a reasonable service. And what's that sacrifice that you got to make your body of? Going out there on the highways and byways, pushing this word out, and also not being conformed with this world. Because I also seen a brother from Texas. He did a lesson called "Plug In Only When You Need To," and you brothers should check that out, man. That's a good lesson. Yeah, but like it says, yeah, it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is a reasonable service. Right, and like I was saying, the living sacrifice that some of you brothers know is going out there on the highways and byways, teaching the truth, because you sacrificing yourself out there, because you don't know what can happen. You get jumped, shot, you present yourself as a sacrifice out there, and that's holy and acceptable unto the Most High, and because you got is because this is what we commanded to do, is to go out there and teach, and also present yourself a living sacrifice. Like I'm saying, is not being into worldly things like that. You're not going back into being worldly. So I'm gonna keep going now as I go and break it down. This verse 2, it says, "And be not conformed to this world." And how being conformed to this world is drinking. Well, you can drink, but we are partying, going to clubs. Want to go kick it with worldly people of the world that's not in the truth. You know, like I said, my brother lesson always want to be outside somewhere, man, having house parties and going to parties, going to clubs, concerts, whatever it is. That's being conformed to this world. That's how you make yourself a living sacrifice. You got to leave all that alone that you used to do. It says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High." Right, and that renewing of your mind is the truth. Once you come into the truth and you start learning these scriptures, you renew yourself. You start following all the laws, statutes, and commandments. You start learning discipline. That's a renewing of your mind. All right, you leaving that old world alone. You may leave them old people that you can mess with alone, so that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And that's the will of the Most High. But by doing that, that's good and acceptable and being perfect. That's part of the will of the Most High. It's coming to the truth, getting the understanding. The number one thing is living by the truth. Not just knowing it, going out there prophesying, but you also got to live this thing. All right, and the number one thing to have is faith. It says that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And we'll go to the next scripture. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 39. It says, "He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it." I'm gonna read it again. "He that findeth his life shall lose it." Right, and that's a worldly person, man. That life that they find is this American dream that they give you, which is exactly what it is, a dream. Because ain't no salvation in this world. Becoming a famous celebrity or whatever dream you were chasing after, you lost it. It says, "And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it." And how we find it is getting the truth, being awoke. Yahweh Shai waking us up to the truth. But this is the life. Matter of fact, I wanna bounce and grab that. This is Philippians chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "For me to live is Yahweh Shai, and to die is gain." Right, it said, "For me to live is Yahweh Shai." And like I was saying before, the scriptures, Yahweh Shai is how we live. Because we know who we are, we know what's for to come, we know what we're supposed to do. You know, it says, verse 22, "But I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose, I would not." Oh, Salaki, I wasn't supposed to meant to read that. It was just a first scripture. No. All right. Yeah, it says, "But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose, I would not. For I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with the Shai, which is far better." Right, man. And being with the Shai is in the kingdom, but man, we really don't want to be here, man. Brothers, the sincere, the truth. We really don't. We ready to get out of here, but we have to wait. So I'm gonna read that again. It says, "For I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Yahweh Shai, which is far better." Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. And why is it needful? Because we have to push this word out. We have a job to do. No, we have commandments to follow. And that's it, to push his word out and endure until the end. Alright, so I'm going to go back to that Matthew 10:39. It says, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And like I said, we found that life, man. When Yahushua woke us up, through put the spirit on the starting with the apostles on down to break down these scriptures. That's how he called us. He woke us up. We found life. This is life. And he that findeth his life shall lose it. Which that's Jake today out there. They want to make it in the world. They want to be something in the world. They seek after the riches. They gonna lose it. How? They gonna die in this martial law. Or race riots. When ultimately when Yahushua come back. Another way to loss is because they don't know who they are. They gonna continue believing they African American. It says, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. And how we lost it? Because we can't, and it says, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. How we lost it? Because we left the worldly things alone and we came after his knowledge of Yahweh Yahushua. And we found our real life. This is our real life. We're Hebrew Israelites. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. It said, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man. Right, that old man is that old the things you used to do in the world. Youth clubbing, smoking, biker gang, whatever you was doing in the old world. You know, that's the old man. It says, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. And those things is corrupt. You know? It says, and be, verse 23, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Like I was saying, being renewed of the spirit of your mind, because you're putting off that old man, the old worldly thing you used to do. That's gone. You're renewing your mind now because you're into these scriptures day and night. And live in this scripture. Like I'm constantly saying that. You live in these scriptures. That's the important thing. You gotta apply this to yourself. And I do. I try to do that to the best of my ability. So like my words a little slurring here. But it says, yeah, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which is after the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is created in righteousness and true holiness. Right. Let me read it again. It says, and that ye put on the new man, which is after Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, is created in righteousness and true holiness. That's the truth. And following the law, statutes, and commandments, and having faith, and living it, teaching it. Okay? It says, verse 25, wherefore putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor. We are members one of another. I'm going to go to the next scripture. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? Right. And and that's talking about that's talking about your friends in the world. Cause I know brothers out there that told their closest friend, or just friends in general, family. You bring the truth to them, they don't believe it. You may have some friends, some families, whoever, uh, may be atheists. That would them the unbelievers. That, oh man, what you talking about? And I don't believe that. I ain't with that. You tripping? It says, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? Because all your friends gonna want to do every time they see you. Hey man, let's go kick it, man. Let's go out and find some hoes and hit the club, smoke this. That's darkness. You don't want to be around that, man, because that can pull on your spirit. That can actually pull on your spirit, man, and that's a heavy demon. Cause you wind up seeing yourself go back into the world and doing exactly what your friend hitting you up to do. And it says, "And what concord have Yahushua with Belial, or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?" Right. So what do we have being around an infidel? And we're gonna go into that word infidel.
Strong's G 571. Apostas. Apostas.
Right. It says apostas. Let's see what it means. It says unfaithful, faithless, not to be trusted, perfidious, incredible of things, unbelieving, incredulous, without trust in God. Right. So it's this this one here and this one here. Unfaithful, faithless, not to be trusted, perfidious, without trust in God. That's an infidel. So what do we have sitting around with an infidel who don't believe in the Most High, in Yahweh Shai, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai? You gotta lead the worldly with the worldly, you know. But just understanding for a little understanding, you gonna see family, you gonna be around family members, but your friends, them, you know, them, you don't want to be around them, especially if they not trying to hear what you got to say when it comes to the truth, and all they want to do is go do worldly things. That ain't where you want to be, man. And another thing, uh, that's also talking about, uh, you know, other the people that's into other doctrine. It's not according to the doctrine we teach. There's darkness. You may be friends with a church member, a Muslim. You know, you're not going. Y'all not gonna be able to come together because what you have is a light. This is the light. What the spirit of Yahweh Shai put on the apostles of GMS. This is the light. Everything else that you experience before this, that whoever you was in, whether you was a Muslim, a Baptist, whatever you was into, before you came to the truth, that was the darkness. And these two can't collide together, man. And these two can't combine together. They can't fellowship like the scripture say. Cause you all gonna clash. Okay. Um, this next scripture. This is the last scripture. And I'm gonna end it on this. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17. It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Let me read that, man, because that's beautiful. And the Spirit just had me find this as I'm putting this lesson together. It's beautiful, man. It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai, he is a new creature. Right. We that new creature once we come into the truth and we believe in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Old things have passed away. So the old things we used to do in the world is done. It's gone. You're supposed to leave that back where it was at. It says, behold, all things are become new. And how they become new? Because you start to become a new man. You put away the old things and you came to the new things. You put away the evil and came into the righteous. Alright? So, man, that's it. I hope this has been edifying to you, brothers, man. I really do. You just gonna, man, brother, just stay in the spirit. Keep pushing this word out, man. Whatever it is you're going through, pray on it. Pray to Yahweh Shem Shah to get through it. Cause a lot of brothers gonna be falling out, getting weak, going back into the world, and man, we coming in hard times, which we've been in hard times for the longest. When you step into the truth, you gonna come into hard times. The scriptures say in the Apocrypha, prepare thyself when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. As soon as you step in here, you're gonna go through some hell. Like I heard the apostles say, Apostle Tahar and Apostle Kabar, it's not gonna be easy, nor is it gonna be hard. But you're gonna go through some stuff, and just I ain't went through nothing really. I'm not saying like I'm talking about compared to what the apostles done. I've been through some stuff, being tempted, but I look up to the apostle, elder and apostles of Great Millstone and other brothers that been in this thing longer than me, because I know they've been through some things, and I can go to them when I'm going through something, But with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone always. A salutation to you, Akim, out there, that teaching the truth and sincerity, that's taking this thing serious. The brothers just keep pushing, man, and Lord willing, I'll make another lesson. You brothers make another lesson. We keep prophesying until we get the hell out of here, alright? With that, we say shalom.